I don't know if you guys heard, but Kanye West has been in the news lately. All right, so your boy Kanye West, no longer a billionaire. Adidas shelves the Yeezy partnership. My man got dropped from his Balenciaga deal, kicked out of JP Morgan Chase. He can't even use the bank anymore. His new lawyer dropped him. Def Jam dropped his record label Good Music. He has zero access to any social media platforms. He got kicked out of Skechers today. He tried to go into the Skechers office. This is like breaking news. He tried to go to the Skechers office and got escorted out by security. He can't even get a deal with Skechers. What the hell did he do? So my man was on Drink Champs. That's my man Noriega's podcast. When I say my man, it's just I seen him in the gym once. So we were basically like boys, right? You know what I mean? But he was talking real spicy.
That's how the Jewish people do, because the Jewish people are already showing us.
Leave the Jewish people alone.
How to.
I ain't gonna lie. You've been going way too far.
No.
You gotta stop.
The Jewish people are my new Drake.
Right. No, leave them out of the Drake.
But I don't even think it's Jewish people for you. I think it's a certain people that are doing certain things.
I think it was 20 people.
So right there, you know, Nori and EFN, they trying to save him. It's like, yo, man, you got to chill. They know I feel like they knew what was about to happen, and they was trying to save him a little bit.
I think it was 20 people who kind of hurt you, and you kind of taking it out on
And
the
they
whole
happen to be
thing.
Jewish.
And the thing is, I have did that with like people from like our projects. I have beef with, and then I just took it out on the whole project. And I'm being honest, I was wrong. So I'm just telling you, please.
I agree with that sentiment, right? Like, just because if you have some people did something to you doesn't mean that the entire race should get hated on. You know what I'm saying? And you can't diss a whole race. You can't say racist stuff and expect these big multi-million-dollar or billion-dollar companies to go along with it. One, it's just not cool, but also, I mean, they got Jewish customers. They're Jewish people, right? And nobody wants to support that sort of rhetoric. So I don't blame the companies for doing that at all. Just something that's been disturbing me though is I hear every time somebody gets kicked off of platforms or kicked off of different social medias, you know, I hear people say, man, free speech you can't say have free speech. Oh, what about free speech? I don't think you guys understand that the First Amendment does not apply to like companies. It means that you won't get arrested for saying stuff. You can say whatever you want, but there's still going to be consequences. It doesn't exonerate you from all those consequences. And if somebody, let's say someone gets kicked off of Twitter for talking reckless or saying something that they think is offensive, yo, if you're on Twitter, you're in Twitter's house. You know what I'm saying? Like if you come into my house talking crazy, you can't say, oh man, it's the First Amendment, freedom of speech. I'm like, nah, man, freedom of speech ain't gonna save you from these hands. You start talking crazy in this house, right? I got the right to kick you out of my house. People have the right to respond the way they want to. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't exonerate you of the responsibility or the repercussions of your speech. You know what I'm saying? And I think if you're gonna use that, yo, I can say whatever I want. You can't cry about the consequences. I'm not saying that's what he's doing. I'm just talking about it in general. You can't cry when someone exercises their freedom, right? Unless you're saying that these platforms don't have the freedom to do what they want. You can say whatever you want, and these platforms should not be able to do anything about it. You know, it's their rules, man. And if you don't like it, that's cool. That's why we got the free market, right? You can go over to some of these other sites. They'll let you say whatever you want. And that's cool. That's how the free market works. I'm a free market capitalist. You know what I'm saying? So I really feel like I'm a ride with, you know, the free market. If some people want a platform where they can say anything to anyone, that's cool. I'm sure there's places for them, you know, and they're growing. And that's cool, right? You don't have to be on the main platforms. I just wanted to kind of touch on that because that whole freedom of speech thing, it applies to the laws, not to these companies, right? Companies, it's within their right to kick you out. Just the same way if you started talking crazy in my house, I can kick you out, right? You know, the First Amendment don't save you from that, right? And he said Jewish people are his new Drake. I guess that means that he's at war with them. I don't get it. Maybe you guys can help me understand, but it sounds like, you know, he just has some beef with a few Jewish people and now he wants to take it out on the whole race, and that ain't cool. I know people of every race. Some of them are cool, some of them are not. It's not a whole thing. You can never generalize people like that. I got Jewish friends who, you know, they didn't like that, and that's cool. That's their prerogative. You know, like I was at a Jewish wedding not long ago, me and my girl. I was wearing, you know, I was trying to wear one of them little tiny hats. You know, they look like little frisbees. But I didn't have no adhesive or anything to put it on my hair. I saw they was clipping it to their hair. I ain't have no way to put it on, man. So couldn't really make that happen. I digress. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I see people saying that Kanye won. Or like somebody just posted, it's better for him. He can create his own. I mean, yeah, he can do that if he wants, you know, and it's well within his right, right? That's a problem. See, here's the thing about freedom. America, you definitely have freedom, but with freedom comes responsibility. Yeah, freedom is a two-way street. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you can say whatever you want doesn't mean that people are going to react the way that you want, and they have the freedom to react like that too. You know what I'm saying? And I just think a lot of people aren't taking that shit into account, man. Let me show another. I'm gonna show another clip from this interview, man. Oh, let me play this.
They're thinking like,
Yeah.
Yo, Nori was like, yo, I need another drink. I can't deal with this shit. I need another drink.
About it, me and Adidas, it's like, I could literally say anti-Semitic shit and they can't drop me. I could say anti-Semitic things and Adidas can't drop me. Now what? Now what?
Yeah. Now what? Now what? I guess you can't, right? And here's the thing. Adidas is going to lose about $250 million from this move, right? Because they make so much money off the Yeezy brand. And they were willing to forfeit $250 million off the strength of this. Right? Hey man, it's just what it is. You know, you can say whatever you want in America. That's the beauty of America. You can't say whatever you want without going to jail, but that doesn't mean that there won't be consequences. Right? I don't know why people don't get that. Nobody's stopping anyone from saying whatever they want. But people are going to react the way they want. And you gotta be cool with that. And you gotta be ready for that smoke. And maybe he is. Maybe this was. I've heard people saying that this was some plan. I don't think so. This looks erratic to me. This looks like a man has mental issues. You know, I know what manic episodes look like, and that's what it looks. This is what it looks like to me. You know, and just the arrogance. Like he said that with a lot of confidence. And then they dropped him anyway. Then they dropped him anyway. What are they saying in the chat about this?
In the chat, they're going both ways. Some of them are saying that he went down a rabbit hole. He is living in Alice in Wonderland. Some people are agreeing with him. Someone said that he didn't say anything inappropriate.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. I don't know. I feel like he had been saying stuff inappropriate. He said he's gonna go DEFCON 3 on the Jews and a bunch of other stuff. Like, why, man? Like, to me, that seemed like it was kind of out of nowhere, or it lacked context. I didn't really know what he was saying, man. But this doesn't seem like a plan. Let me get my screen. Someone says, I think it's a business move. Yeah, this is a fucking business move. He got dragged out of Skechers by security trying to get a deal. You telling me this was the fucking plan? I understand some of you guys just like Kanye West. I used to like him too when I thought he was from Chicago. He was born in Atlanta. I want to be clear about that. I'm from Chicago. I was born and raised in Chicago on the South Side. He was born in Atlanta. Clear about that. And you like him and you want to support him. And when you like somebody, you're going to see what you believe instead of believing what you see. What you see is a fucking crazy man acting crazy. He just got escorted out of, he was trying to get a deal with Skechers. At that point, this is how you just going to anybody. Skechers? Come on, man. Who wears Skechers? Right? He got dragged up by security. You mean to tell me that this was the fucking plan, dummy? Nah, man. But you want to believe that he did the right, that he's some sort of master plan. He's playing 3D chess because people see what they believe. They don't believe what they see. You know? You know what I'm saying? I just think it's erratic, it's crazy, and these are the consequences. You know, like I think success is more dangerous than failure, because when you succeed, you start to believe that your shit don't stink. You start to believe your own hype, and you can be overconfident. Right? I think it was overconfidence of him saying, I can say all this shit and Adidas won't drop me. And then they drop him, man. Right? Because when you start to believe your own hype and then no one can reason with you. Sometimes you can be surrounded by yes men or people who just want the check or people who just want to make you happy as opposed to tell you the truth, or maybe they're scared to tell you the truth, or maybe they just trust you, right? Because you've had success in the past. They think, oh, this doesn't make sense to me, but it's him, so we're gonna ride with it. And if you can't be objective or look at yourself objective, you can definitely like lose touch with reality. And I've seen this happen many times. I've seen it happen to some of my mentors. I've seen it happen to people that I respect, where they put themselves in this bubble where no one can actually tell them, hey man, you tripping right now, or this is not right. And they start to believe their own hype. They start to think that they are unstoppable, right? But ain't nobody unstoppable, right? That's actually one of my biggest fears, is becoming like this motherfucker. You know, it's like feeling myself so much that I mean, obviously I'm not gonna be out here saying racist shit, but like start feeling myself so much that I do things that aren't in the best interests of me, my family, and my business and my customers, right? There's people who work at the Yeezy company and these people have families, and he's gonna hurt their ability to make money. Like when you're a CEO, when you're a leader, you really have to, you can't just think about your fucking self, dummy. You gotta also think about the people who you lead and their fucking families and their children and their goals and their dreams. They don't work for you, you work for them. As the leader, you work for the people who you lead, because you ain't nothing without them. You need all those people behind you to help run the machine. Right? These people attach themselves to you as a sign that you can help them accomplish their goals. And if you're not thinking about that, it's selfish. And there's no way you can get me to believe that the stuff he's been doing in the last few weeks is in the best interest of the people he leads who work for him at his company or work for his brand. You can't get me to believe that when he's getting kicked the fuck out of Skechers by security trying to get a deal with them. What happened? Oh man, we should do it all our own. But he's running into Skechers. I don't know, shit didn't look well thought out to me. I'm gonna be honest with you. It doesn't look like good leadership. I wouldn't, if I was looking for a job, I wouldn't want to work for this motherfucker who's erratic and you can't tell what he's gonna do next. He out here dressing homeless, acting crazy. He's not even from Chicago, man. He's from Atlanta. Now, he's not from Chicago. I'm from Chicago. Lil Durk's from Chicago. G Herbo's from Chicago. He's from Atlanta. I want to be clear about that. That's y'all. That's y'all boy. That is y'all boy.